Hi, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to create a flower with petals open. This is a very primitive tutorial. I'm going to be working with a sphere for the purpose of this, but you could use any shape that rotates 360 degrees. It can be an oval, it can be a shape that you've created using the layer tool, anything like that. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to be using a sphere just to show you the basics and fundamentals of how I've created my flower. Okay, I hate these grids, so I'm going to get rid of those. And I'm going to draw a sphere. For ease of use and creating the petals, I'm going to use a sphere that has an even number of segments. In this case, it's got 32 segments. You can set that to any number, but you might find it easier when it comes to creating a single petal that you use an even number of petals, even number of segments to create an even number of petals. So we're going to convert this to an editable poly. Let's make this full screen. So now we've got a top view of our sphere. We're going to cut a petal out of this. This has 32 segments. Half the segments would make it 16, a quarter would make it 8, and an eighth of would make it 4. So we're going to cut out and leave a 4 segment chunk of this. So just bear with me while I do this. Oops. Okay, I've deliberately cut out a segment that's lined up vertically and horizontally rather than cutting out a segment that's at an angle. There's a reason for this. It's just easier to work with when you get the bend modifier on there, which is what we're going to do now. Let's get that full screen, and we're going to add the bend modifier to this. Okay, you can see you've got your bend modifier there. Now then, let's just see that in action. Yeah, that's lovely, but it's bending in the wrong direction. So what we're going to do is take the gizmo and rotate the gizmo. Now it doesn't matter too much about this gizmo being exactly the same size and encompassing the whole of the petal. It's not going to make much difference to the results. What will make a difference to the results is the center of the gizmo. That should really be roughly in the middle of the gizmo itself. So I'm going to place this roughly. I'm just using the human eye for this. There probably is a tool for centering this. That doesn't work. I've tried the align tool. For some reason it doesn't work with the gizmo, but moving on. Right, so I've rotated the gizmo, and now when we use the bend modifier, I'll just have a look at the left view so we can get a good view of this. You can see now that the petal's bending, but it's bending from the center. So we're just going to move the gizmo, and what I've found is that it's probably best to line up the gizmo with the center of the gizmo with the edge of the petal, but more importantly, and this is vital, this is more important than lining it with the center, is to line it up with the bottom, the base of the petal there, and then just bring it across. And this can be rough. That's roughly in the middle there. The reason we've lined it up with the base of the petal, I'll demonstrate what happens if you don't do, but let's just have a look at that now. Oops. What happened there? Let's try that again. There we go. And you've got your petal opening and closing. Now then, I'll show you why you need this center to be lined up with the base of the petal. If I move it up, when it comes to animate this, I want you to keep your eye on the base, on the bottom of the petal here. Can you see it's moving? Now if you've got that as part of a model of a flower and you've got the base of the flower there, the bottom of the petal is going to push below the base of the flower, and you don't want that to happen. So a little bit of tweaking, and that's fine. And you've got a nice, I never get bored of watching this, lovely fluid movement. Okay, so we need to take that petal, we need to make the rest of the petals that make the flower. So if I go back, just line that up. That should have been in line really. It doesn't really matter because and we've got our petal. At this point you can put the animation keys in now if you like, and I'm going to do that. It's okay. I'm going to want it to about there. That's fine. Turn off auto key. So we've got our petal on. So we need to create the rest of the petals. In order to do that, we're going to use the array function. If you go up to Tools and find the array function here, and I've selected the top view here, and this will have a bearing on the parameters you're selecting here depending on the viewport. And I may have got this wrong, and if I have got it wrong I will demonstrate why it's wrong. We're only going to work with one parameter. We're going to work with the rotate function over here, and we're going to turn the preview button on, and we already know that 8 of these will make a sphere, and the count at the minute is 10, so we're going to change that to 8. Okay, and then if we click on the little arrow next to rotate, that will make this become active, and I think it's the Z degrees, and I'm guessing here 360. There you go, and you can see that we've got our entire flower. If I just run the timeline, ooh, lovely flower, and that's it, and that's how you create a flower. You can take this and you can create, I mean, if I basically grab this now, you know, you can add to this, you can add more petals to it, and just rotate that a little bit, and then maybe grab these and move them a little bit further along, and now what you get is that, I mean, yeah. So that's how I create a flower. I'm sure you can use the same technique for a lot of things, but thanks for watching.